Hey folks, Wally DM here, and today our adventuring party is going to be exploring a tower. Now this is an illusionary puzzle tower that involves 3 different layers, and if the PCs are able to solve this puzzle, then they're going to discover a hidden bunker. And that could be filled with some types of treasures, mysteries, or might even serve as a base of operations for the adventuring party. Now you're going to find today's puzzle called the Ghost Tower in Roads and Ruins. Now this is a quarter shots book. It's filled with a bunch of different adventures that would take 1 or 2 hours. You can use them for an improv game or drop them into the current campaign you're running. Now this was sent to me by Marcus from Deck and Dice Games, and it's filled with a lot of great adventures. I'm really enjoying reading through these. This book is system agnostic. It's filled with a bunch of different ideas that include puzzles, traps, moral quandaries, and mysteries. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the puzzle that you can find in the Ghost Tower encounter, which encompasses about half of this quarter shot adventure. Now there's a lot of moving details, a lot of parts, 3 floors of a tower, so we're going to take each step one by one, so let's get started. So in this puzzle encounter, the PCs are going to happen upon a ruined 3-story tower. Now the doors are going to be splintered and off of their hinges, the top floor is going to be partially caved in, and the entire tower appears to be deserted. Now initially, this looks like a really good place to rest. Maybe the adventurers have been traveling for quite some time, or they just got done with a major battle and need a place to be able to relax and heal up. With that in mind, our adventuring party is going to enter the first floor of the tower. Now this first floor is completely free of debris, and the characters might think that this is a safe place to take a long rest and sleep for the night. Now it absolutely is for the first hour, but after that, things are going to get a little weird. After the characters spend an hour inside of this tower, there's going to be a few changes that happen. But we'll get to that in just a bit. Now this first floor is completely free of debris, and the only thing of interest other than the stairs that go up to the second floor is on the north side of this pillar is going to be the word trap crudely etched into the side of it, as if it was a warning. Now underneath the word trap is an arrow that points down to a small empty niche. Now this niche is carved out inside of this pillar about a couple inches. Now that's going to do it for everything that is on the first floor, so let's have our characters go up the stairs and see what's on level 2. Now as the characters explore the second floor of this tower, they're going to find that it's full of debris, stones that are broken off from the wall, and a lot of shattered pottery. The 2 things that are going to be of significance in this room, the first is going to be this desk, and this desk has 4 drawers. If the characters were to search through the drawers, in the top drawer is going to be some separated parts of a quill pen, and the remaining 3 drawers are going to be filled with crumpled papers and dried inkwells. Now etched into one of the walls on the second floor are going to be 2 words. The first word is going to be pot, and the second word is going to be reward. At this time, however, this is all they're going to find on the second floor, so the characters can proceed up to level 3 of the tower. Our characters have now arrived at the 3rd floor of this tower. Now this area, or this 3rd floor, is not structurally sound. Half of the ceiling and a lot of the walls are missing. Not only that, but there are strong gusts of winds that makes the edge feel very dangerous to stand near. Now while most of this area up here is in ruin, there is another word that is etched into one of the walls, and that word is reviled. R-E-V-I-L-E-D. Now the way the Ghost Tower works is after the characters are in the tower for at least an hour, there's going to be a transformation. So depending on you as the game master as to what an hour constitutes in game time, if the characters have taken their time to slowly look through everything and investigate and search all of the areas all the way up to the 3rd floor, then perhaps once they are done with this 3rd floor, that is when I would have the 1 hour be elapsed, and this entire tower is going to transform right before their very eyes. So the entire tower is going to transform. Now there's a few things that the Game Master should keep in mind when the characters start exploring the rest of the tower. The first part is most of these are repeating programmed illusions. They are difficult to disbelieve, but their attacks are not going to have any effect. And in addition to that, any type of detect or turn undead like abilities are not going to have any effect. Successful dispel magic type spells are only going to last for 1 day. Why do I bring up all of this undead stuff? Well, because we're pretty much going to be seeing undead or illusionary undead on every floor of the tower, from the 3rd floor all the way down to the 1st floor. So now that the third floor has transformed, we're going to see this elegant looking room. The missing walls and the ceiling are going to seem to have been replaced, but the characters will still be able to hear and feel the wind. Now, some of the things that are going to stand out to the characters is going to be this beautiful wardrobe that's going to be filled with all kinds of elegant clothing, or at least the illusionary appearance of that. We're going to have a few nightstands over here with dead flowers, and in this 4-poster bed is going to be a lich-like man partially under the covers. The man is then going to come to life. He's going to point to one of the PCs, and he's going to start uttering incantations. It's at this point I would probably allow the characters to do something in response if they wanted to, but again, this is going to be a very good repeating programmed illusion. And if the characters don't leave this area after the Lich's incantation, he's going to act like the spell was cast and was successful, and is going to start cackling fiendishly, even though its spell has no effect. After the scare of the Lich coming out of this bed, the most important thing in this room is going to be this mirror here. So if our character were to come over and take a look into this mirror, they're going to see that that word reviled that is written on the wall behind them, in the mirror, it's going to read deliver. Now, one thing before we do continue, you need to decide how you're going to run this in your game. In the way that Marcus wrote it in Roads and Ruin and in the Ghost Tower encounter, the word is simply spelled backwards. However, if you want to go through the efforts of actually reversing the letters as well, so that when you give your players a handout, they'll be able to put it in the mirror and be able to see the word written exactly how you intend, then that's totally up to you. However, I do believe that the magic of the mirror can just reverse the order of the letters, and we don't have to worry about the letters being written backwards. Be sure to leave a comment below. How would you run that in your game? Regardless, our characters are on level 3. A Lich is trying to cast spells that have no effect, and we looked into the mirror, and the word that is written, reviled, is actually deliver. Now, our characters are going to need to go down through the rest of the tower and see what else has changed. So our characters have been in the tower for over an hour, and after an hour in staying in this desolate and abandoned tower, everything begins to change, and our characters are going down to level 2 after just witnessing a change of events on level 3, and on the second floor, things are changed here as well. The first thing that they're going to notice is there's going to be an old man that is sitting at the desk that is along the wall. Now, prior to going up to level 3, this entire area was disheveled and destroyed with pottery ruins and pieces of the wall that were crumbling, but everything is in immaculate shape. The walls are fixed and have no problems whatsoever, and all the pottery is lined up nicely against the wall. Now, if the characters come over to this side of the room and try to talk or engage with this old man that's at the desk, he's going to turn and face them, and then he's going to shout for them to leave while you can. And while he screams this, his face is going to peel off. It's going to be a grotesque scene. At the end of his words, the old man is simply going to disintegrate into a pile of bones. But now with the old man out of the way, the characters can come over, and if they were to search this desk again, remember that the last time in the top drawer, we found some quill pieces or pieces of some quill pens, but the rest of the drawer was filled with crumbled papers and dried inkwells. They're going to be able to open these drawers, and ironically enough, everything's going to be the same. The top drawer is going to have some parts of some quill pens, and the rest is going to be filled with the crumpled papers and the dried inkwells. Meanwhile, our Dragonborn can look in this mirror, and those two words that were written on the wall on the second floor of the tower were pot and reward. But if the Dragonborn were to look in the mirror and then see the words that are written on the wall, he's going to notice that they're backwards. So in the mirror, the Dragonborn's going to see the word top and the word drawer. I wonder what that means. Regardless, that's all that's going to happen on the second floor of the tower, so let's go down to level 1 and see what's changed. Now with our active ghost tower, the characters can come back down to the first floor, and as they come down here, they're going to see all types of haunts and apparitions that are going to come down from the ceiling, and they're going to be howling and threatening. But of course, they are simply illusions. But that's a part that's up to you when you run this puzzle. If you want to make them actual ghosts or spirits, you're more than welcome to do so. Now that the ghost tower is active, there's a few differences on the first floor. There are some tapestries on the walls, there's some nice furnishings and rugs, and there's a mirror along the north wall. So now if one of our characters were to come over and take a look into this mirror, that word trap that is written on the side of the pillar, in the mirror, they're going to be able to see it, and instead of trap, it's going to say part. So our characters have explored this entire tower. They started on the first level and worked their way up all the way to level 3 when the tower was in a state of ruin and decay, and then the tower transformed into this magnificent looking place with all kinds of nice furnishings and furniture, although there are a lot of hauntings with liches and decaying old men and ghosts. But along the way, they were also able to find some mirrors and being able to look at the words that are written on walls or pillars and reading them backwards. They're able to put together that the words are deliver, top, drawer, and part. With all the information that's been provided, do you know how to solve the puzzle? I'll give you a second to figure it out. Did you get it? Great. Let's go over the answer. So the ghost tower puzzle is solved by following the directions of the reversed words, and we're going to take those from the top floor to the bottom. Deliver, top, drawer, part. Now if you remember, on the second floor of the tower there was a desk, and in the top drawer of that desk were some broken quill parts. So if the PCs were to take one of those pieces of a broken quill part and deliver it to the niche that's in the tower on the first floor, so the quill part goes in the niche, and once they place it in there, a trap door is going to appear at the base of the pillar, and they're going to be able to open this, go down through the trap door, and explore a mysterious bunker that's underneath Ghost Tower. Now I do like that Marcus offered a couple of other solutions other than putting the quill part into the niche that's in the pillar. One of those is that a high-powered dispel magic-like ability could unlock the trapdoor and make it visible, but it will not be able to be open easy. They might need to pry it open somehow. Now another solution that Marcus provided is by saying the password, which is Flimbor Any Athi Unli Umdor, and this code is spelled out in a book that is in the study. Any PC that does attempt to use the password though must say the code rather quickly and pronounce each syllable correctly, or the code will not work. It's kind of ridiculous, but the attempts should give the DM a few well-earned chuckles. So that's all I have for you today. What did you think of the puzzle? Is this something that you could use in your game? And if so, what would you do differently? And if you'd like to run the full Ghost Tower quarter shot, you can find that in Roads and Ruins. I'll put a link in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, and on to the next.